Well, hello. Do you think I'm ever going to think this doesn't look bad? I don't think so. I need to get something different going on here, but for now, it's not even really about this right now. I'm just not up to be put in front of the camera right now. I'm not even dressed correctly for it. And I just had some things to say. And I was just going to use my peroxide water and give them a little bit. They need a little bit of refreshment here. And this here, I don't know what to call it. I've been in deep thought for about a year, actually, when it comes to my content. Some of you I've talked to about it. And maybe you can understand if I tell it this way. That if you had a channel where you showed people how to clean their pools properly and keep them clean that way, how would you feel if your friends and family came to support your channel, but they didn't have a pool? Or let's say you work on BMWs, you must show someone how to clean the fuel injector, and all your friends and family came to support you. How would you feel if not one of them had a car, or even a problem they wanted help with? And you know, I have what, 1,500 subscribers today. I only helped like 6 people, and that's not even 1%. I think that's like less than it's like a 1.5 thousandth percent or something. So, you know, that, and well, I've been praying about it a lot, you know, and asking. I have these certain abilities, you know, whatever, and I don't think that I'm using them, you know. I just don't think this. It's not that it's not a good concept. It's a wonderful concept. It's a wonderful concept. But maybe people just aren't ready for it yet. I don't know. But there must be something else. I don't want to travel to a foreign country and, you know, do all this in person. But I'm also tired. I didn't want to end up with a empty channel, you know. My content was going to change anyway. But you see, the garden was always here before. I just had an experiment I was doing with the tomato to see if I could get it to grow in the house. Because if I've been watching people since I was like 10, growing stuff in an attic, a basement, you know, it was just what they come up with was just absolutely phenomenal sometimes. Okay, but those lights burned really hot, and they were fire hazards, because you'd have to put so many of them together that most of the time people were holding their breath hoping their garage wouldn't burn down. So with these lights here, when it's a full spectrum light, I will no longer tell people it's a good idea to buy the purple ones. And we could talk about that some other time, though. I just started that tomato plant under 100-watt full spectrum light. I had to supplement the light when it got taller, but it grew 3 tomatoes before I had to supplement it. And my second channel, it may look similar as far as numbers and stuff are concerned, but you don't see the dashboard on it. I do. And CPM or RPM, whichever it is, you know, I never really got into this for all that. It just shows me that it's much higher for my cooking channel. Much higher. And I just have fun with that. I actually have videos already scheduled till probably the first day of fall. So I'm trying to, well, about my, you know, cooking and stuff around that. I actually enjoy it. I don't really care. I just have fun with it. But YouTube contacted me and told me that I had a full catalog to support my channel, and or carry my channel, whatever they said like that. That's not what I was getting to. They told me I didn't need to upload as often anymore, and to try to do other things, you know, experiment with other things. And I did, you know, at the Andy Beast. I just happened to be there, and I picked up I picked up the camera and I just thought, well, let me just see what I could do with it. And I was happy with it, but I can't have my content changed until I'm actually free. And yeah, I just briefly want to talk about that because it's really getting to me right about now. You know, the walls feel like they're closing in, and it just seems so tragic, but it must be just because freedom is around the corner. By Christmas, I should be free. I don't have a trip to go on. I don't think it's going to be that important to me, actually, because all the money I was saving to go on that cruise, a couple of years ago, I think it's been, I took it and paid it on my house. So any money I was going to put in that envelope, I put on my house, because it's just been a burden that I just don't think I can carry very much longer. Not because of, because I'm tired of being stuck in the house all the time and not being able to leave of my own accord, even if I wanted to. So I'm asking myself, did I want to rush along these 4 months and not enjoy the moment? Or is there something else that, I could be doing? And when I say that if you have to fight too hard and everything's a struggle, and I'm not talking about a drive to, get something done, numbers and stuff. I'm talking about when everything's a fight and it's fighting you, and, things just aren't coming together well. You also have to look at it the same way when things do come together easily. So I already set up another channel and I had it verified. I gotta change the name because Neverland is not going to be a very good channel for reading children's books to kids. I just don't think so. It makes me a little uncomfortable. So I gotta come up with a different name. See, when I started my channel, I was using those security camera footage things to, well, it was challenging, to take the glares out, if it's too light, take the white out, or if it's too dark, add some, you know what I mean? And I wasn't that good with it all. Sometimes things would go this way, and sometimes things would go that way. I didn't know how to turn it or anything. And then I didn't like the way things would blend into each other. I wanted it to look like, well, it does. It looks like every car that passed my house in a day did it in the 2 minutes I put on that video. I live in a small town. But anything that moved, I usually did, like birds or everything. And I did that for 1.5 years. I'd put up 3 to 5 videos a day because they told me to be consistent. I thought I'd have to do that for the rest of my life. I don't know what I was thinking, because that was insanity. Then I started doing, like 1 a week, well, 2 a week, and then I dropped down to 1. So, see, this was never the bulk of my channel. I wanted to learn how to make those beautiful mixes. The meditation ones or the ambiance ones. I love that. And I did that for 1 year. Well, that's named reused content, and I had to get rid of it. It's still there. I just can't bring it out right now. But when I had 687 subs, I don't know when that was. But that's when I finally made a video that I was proud of. Oh, I was crying as I uploaded it. Because I finally made something pretty like I wanted to. I watch a lot of people that have a lot of subscribers because they're doing the things, I want to do. I've been watching them for 4 or 5 years, and they have great, I call it dramatics, I don't know what you should call it, but it's when they position the camera and then they go back to their car and then they drive into where they're going, so you see them come in. Sometimes they'll be walking ahead in the path and there's nobody with them. So when they get to the end of the path, then they come back and they get the camera. But sometimes the most effort they put into it can only be like maybe 5 minutes of the video. But it doesn't distract the eye. And one scene will blend into the other one so nicely that you don't even really notice you've gone from one to the other. It's just different things that I wanted to do. I liked the one that I did when I went to the cabin this last time, but it wasn't that good. I was holding my breath. I was just so, I don't know, not relaxed with it. But I don't know if I did a whole lot of talking, hopefully not. But I've had some people that I watch, I really enjoy them doing what I want to do. little tiny houses or a house in a cave or whatever, and they'll set up the camera outside of the little rental that they have, and they'll open the doors like you've been standing there and say, "Come on in." You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be able to do that when I go. So I'm not upset about the garden, because it'll always be here. It brings me so much joy. I really appreciate coming through and talking to them and checking them, especially in the morning. The first thing I want to see is my dog's face, and I want to say good morning to him. This year, this month is it's his homecoming month, and he's been with me for 6 years. I've never lost that new puppy feeling with him. And then I talk to my plants and check them out and see how they're doing. Do they need water? You know, I just am overjoyed with it. It's not going anywhere. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be supportive. I just, I know I've got a lot of comments to answer. I'm getting to that. I am. I sleep now. Yeah, I got to redelegate my time. It's really hard because once I started working through the things that I needed to work through, I sleep 5 to 7 hours a night now. Well, I was doing other things in the time I was sleeping because I couldn't sleep, so things are getting a little bit behind me, but I'm trying to catch up with them. But being everything seems to be pointing in the direction of giving me some time, I don't have to worry about content so much. And I've got all those videos up on my cooking channel already. I even have the background for the first book I'm going to read. That's what I really wanted to do, was read books to children. It's not something I'm going to promote because you can't even comment or anything on there. It's not for monetary gain, so I might have some of my friends try and listen to some of it and tell me, you know, some constructive criticism. I got a thick skin there. There's nothing that's ever going to improve if I never know what needs to be improved. I don't always have the most defining speech either, so I'm working on it. But this is a book that I loved as a kid. I read all the time. It's really cute. This little kid, you know, he lost his father, and the only way that they can make ends meet is to rent rooms out of their house to strangers. And this like professor magician guy came. He was like really mysterious, and the kid's watching because underneath the door of the guy's room he sees all these lights flashing, and he has no idea what's going on in there. And then he comes upon this magic potion, and it says if you put 2 drops on each of your shoulders, that something would happen. And the next thing he knows, he's standing there with wings. And so he gets to fly all around Brooklyn and Coney Island. There's monkeys involved. I never really figured out how there's monkeys involved in New York, but this was at night that he would do this. And the reason why it's called Black and Blue Magic is because he knows how to take off pretty well, and he can maneuver pretty well, but not the landings so much. So it's because he got a lot of bruises. Anyway, I got a bunch of books too that I got for my grandchildren I just need to give back. So I need to get them read. When this channel was good for my traveling things, my cooking channel was going to be what I cook things for. Like if I cook when I'm camping, or I come upon somewhere that's really neat to eat at or something, but I always wanted there to be a book involved so that I had time to read, you know, in that little cabin or tree house or whatever, a little story to my grandchildren. And I think that it should be there for any kid that wants to listen to it, if it's listenable. If it's listenable. You know, I have nieces and nephews too, and I just think all signs point to that. So I'm going to go ahead and go with it, because I would hate to think that I wasted these 4 months feeling sorry for myself. Really, it's a miserable feeling. And whenever I turn on the other side of my brain, whichever side that is, it's creative, it turns off the other one. And I'm not looking to run from my problems here. It's just that I understand why I feel the way that I do, and it's normal. So I just rather go do something that's more positive, and it has something that I can show for it, you know? It's not even so much that, it's just it's there finally. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So, I really wanted to say thank you. What I had to work through, I had already shut just about the whole world out. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I most certainly did not want to talk to anybody. And it was so important, they said, that when you attempt to do something like that, you should pick at least 2 people to just stay in contact with every day so you keep in touch with reality. It was difficult. And you know who you are. I want you to know that that was a bigger gift to me than anybody could really give me, because I didn't want to talk about my problems. I like talking about cats and dogs and plants and whatever, else. But at least I didn't feel quite so isolated. And it's not that I think a person should keep their problems to themselves. I just think that it wasn't going to help me feel better to keep dwelling on something. So I want you to know how much it meant to me, though. You will always mean so much to me for that. There's this lake. I can't believe it's so close to my house. Because I wanted to see that lake for 30 years. I thought it was in Arkansas or something. Meaning it's a couple hours away. No, it's not. It's just a little bit further than the Walmart. And that's one of the first places I want to go and see. I'm sure most people wouldn't think it would be that interesting, but I do, because I just love this stuff. Nature and rocks and, oh yeah, those geodes. Anyway, I've always loved this kind of thing, and I went by the Grand Canyon twice and didn't get to see it. I'm sure these people already saw it, whoever I was with, but I didn't get to see it. And I'm really interested in seeing that. I need a more rugged car. I'm looking right now, not looking actively to buy something. I can't. But I can get an idea in my head of what I want. And, well, I was in my parents' car, and I was talking to my dad about, why don't you stop thinking about hotels and stuff, because he wants to go on a trip with my mom, and just sleep in the car, because you'll save so much money. And now I know it's harder for him at his age to do that, but he said, Cheryl, this car is made for that. The seat you're on folds down, it becomes a bed. And I'm going, oh, you're kidding me. So I got in my daughter's car, and there's 3 rows of seats in here. How's that possible? It doesn't look that big from the outside. It's big enough. And I think everything folds down in there. I would like to make my own, but I'm not going to wait until I make my own to go. I'll go with a blow-up mattress and or a beanbag. I mean, I'm going at first, because it's better to go out and see what you think you really need rather than take the whole house with you and realize you didn't need most of it. But yeah, I'm starting to look at vehicles and realizing that my possibilities are bigger than I thought. I'm not even sure if it's a van that I want. It just has to be a box, a tube, something that will accommodate what I want. But I know that it's not as expensive as I thought it was. It's the insurance I need to worry about more, because that's what's going to bring me home if I'm stuck out in the middle of nowhere somewhere, And, well, they even give you a rental car if yours gets smashed and totals for 2 weeks, I think. So that would definitely bring me back home. Yeah, I keep going off on these little tangents, and I'm sorry about that. I've had a lot to think about all night, and I've been trying to talk this out all day, and it just wasn't working out very well. So, yeah, I didn't mean to make this long, but I wanted to give a little bit of an explanation as to why it is that I stopped uploading so much. And I've gotten over, some of you have known I've been upset about my channel just because of what I said. I've got my friends and family supporting me, and that's wonderful. But at the end of the day, no one is really, they don't gain anything, So the catalog will be there in case they do, because I'd looked to see if I should redo some of the videos, and no, I explain things perfectly well. Like for the pHing and stuff, I got to do one more for the recharge and Nectar of the Gods. I was going to do that today, but I decided to get this out of the way first. Because I showed you how to sterilize your soil and treat your plants, but I didn't show you how to put stuff back in, and I can't find the video that I did on that before. I looked, I can't find it. So I will come back to you when I get my supplies in, and we're going with a new organic product. I told you right now I'm still doing a Miracle-Gro. That's all I have right now. And I'll probably get in the other stuff, well, in September or October sometime. So I will come forth with stuff like that, or if I get some plants in that are different, or if they're doing something like this here. You see how well it's working? Okay, forget about all these little tags, because I don't like that either. But some things didn't take, something died. But look, they look like they're thriving in there, don't they? They weren't thriving where they were. Ah, that's my point. My channel isn't thriving in the way I'd like it to. So I may have to do things just a little bit differently. And I'm willing to do that. So, again, thank you for all of your support. I really do appreciate it. And I think I'm just going to... See, that's all the water I needed. I haven't watered this since I made it. So I think I gave that a little bit of water to try to save it, but I couldn't. And here too. But this is how well they've done since then. And they will live on. I hope this isn't the pig's ear. Anyway, some of this I gotta move, because it's just gonna keep spreading. Maybe they'll look pretty, I don't know. Anyway, you guys have yourselves a lovely day. And I will as well. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.